Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been a minute since I made a video, but I want to take a second here and go through no start condition. This is a Chevy Cruze. What year is this thing? 2013 Chevy Cruze. It's my buddy's vehicle. It's been parked for quite a while. I'd say at least a year. And we're trying to get it back on the road. So first step is obviously to get it running. But what we have going on here is that it's just a weak crank, very weak crank. And it's not starting. So obviously first thing you're gonna think when something's cranking weak is that, you know, your battery doesn't have enough juice. So what I've already done is taken the old battery out, and I noticed that it's actually frozen. So I'm assuming some of the cells inside the battery have cracked or shorted or whatever. So that battery was no good. And I took another battery from a Dodge Ram that I had that actually fit like to the maximum ability, and I put it in there, but it's still cranking over pretty weak. So I had the booster pack on it and the fresh battery, and it's doing the same thing. So if it's laboring to start, that's the first place I'd go. Now, if your starter is drawing more than 200, 300 amps on a 4-cylinder, and it's laboring to start, well then your starter motor is no good. In this case, I do not believe that's what we have. This thing has been parked for a long time, like I said, in a field. It wasn't like in a warm shop or anything. It was outside to the elements. The next step would be remove the drive belt and check if there's any pulleys that are seized, causing this thing to have a hard time turning over, because obviously it's connected to your crankshaft, which is trying to turn by your starter, but it can't happen very easily because, you know, it could be a starter alternator seized, could be an idler pulley, could be a water pump. Anything that spins on the accessory belt could be seized. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna take off the belt and we're gonna see if we can get this thing rolling free. All right, I wanna show you guys what it's doing here. Initially, like I said, I brought it into the shop. I let everything defrost because it's like minus 30 degrees Celsius here right now. And we let everything defrost, thinking that we would give it its best chance possible, but this is what it's doing. Go ahead. Keep going. Okay. So as you can see, it's obviously having a hard time turning over. The battery's got full juice. I do have a booster pack here that I've thrown on it, and it's done the same thing. So assuming at this point that the starter is okay, I haven't confirmed it yet. In order to confirm it, basically you get your amp clamp, you see how many amps the starter is drawing from your battery and from the rest of your system. Like I said, if you're over 300 or so on a 4-cylinder, usually that means your starter is no good, and oftentimes it'll be about 1,000 amps when it sounds this bad. All right, so what we've gone ahead and done is we've cut the belt off. The belt was no good anyways. You can remove the belt by just releasing the tensioner and taking the belt off, in reverse order as you would to put it on. We're gonna go ahead and try to start this thing and see what happens. Well, it's gonna start. Hold on. There you go. So I guess the battery might be a little bit weak now after trying to start it all those times, but we hear now that it's starting, so we're gonna figure out which pulley was holding this engine up. All right, kill it. Keep in mind that when you're running the vehicle without the belt on, your battery is not charging, so you're just using battery voltage and your alternator is not supplying voltage to your system. So what we have come up with here is that the alternator was in fact seized and causing it to pretty much put the brakes on when you're trying to turn the engine over. We put our hand on every other pulley. The idler looks good. The water pump looks good. I mean, it's leaking a little bit, but it's not seized. The AC compressor was good. The last thing that was left was the alternator, and that's unfortunately not good. So we're gonna get one of those, put it in, put a new belt on, and we'll be good to go. So I hope this video was able to give you a sense of direction for your potential no start. Again, this is just one of many ways that a vehicle might have a fault for no starting. This is, more along the lines of a voltage related issue where it's laboring to start like this. You could have multiple reasons why your car is cranking and not starting. You could have no compression. You could have timing that's off. You could have no spark. You could have no fuel. There's multiple different reasons why your engine cranks but will not fire. In this particular case, this is pertaining to an engine that is struggling to turn over. So look for those items and maybe they'll help you on yours. All right? Full throttle or no throttle?